Supply chains in a world of disruption. Well, joining us today to speak about that, Völker Albrecht, CEO of Siemens Digital Logistics. Völker, it's great to see you once again. Welcome.
Thank you, Russell, for having me. Pleasure.
Völker, I think if there's anything that is a consistent in the world of supply chain, it's disruption. It just seems like there's one right after the other. Let's talk about the challenges that you see given that reality. What would you say?
So for us, it's important, and for the overall, all of our customers and partners, that we keep supply chain on the radar. So we have seen certainly the big disruptions during the COVID, and we just need to make sure that this is not seen as a one-off. We see a lot of more. Think about the Panama Channel, think about the Houthis in the Red Sea today. So it's continuously, like you said, Russell, it's continuous disruption. So for us, it's important really to look at that as a chance also to further develop the supply chain matter and bringing it out of the silo. I'm really looking at a more holistic picture. That's what I believe. It's really important for us as a community to make sure that supply chain is seen not as a little piece. It has to be seen as a decisive part of the business. And if you do it right, it's even important and can become a competitive advantage for you. That's how I see it.
Somebody once said that whether these disruptions are man-made or whether they are something that is a natural occurrence, the only certainty is the uncertainty out there. So these things are going to continue. It seems to me then that companies are under pressure to be resilient given that these disruptions are going to continue. So walk us through that. How does one achieve that kind of resilience, that kind of flexibility, that to be robust no matter what's coming down the pike? What would you say?
So for me, it is important to look not only at the supply chain itself, really looking at a bit out of the window, so to speak. So thinking supply chain from the very first beginning. What do I mean by that? Thinking about it already in the product design. So if you design a product, if you have the first idea, also think about the supply chain. So, but you don't need to be a supply chain expert in that sense. You need to have the data and the information at hand for the designer. And so logistics insights, supply chain insights at the product design, and then continue the flow towards your production design. How you see that, the supply chain aspects in your production design. And not only on the shop floor, but also inbound and outbound logistics, having a say in that complete design process. And certainly then think also your production. Not as a production, you can have the most efficient production. If you don't have your supply chain under control, it doesn't help you at all. So really thinking it from the beginning to the end, to your fulfillment centers or to your warehouses, to your distribution warehouse. That's what I think. When you have that in mind, really the end-to-end flow and the shift towards the product design, production design, and certainly the production having supply chain and logistics insights always on your radar, that's where you're getting more resilient. And not only looking at it. We have optimized a lot into the supply chain itself. And we look at the resilience of the supply chain. But the big lever I see going forward is when you look at the holistic picture and tearing down the silos.
Interesting when you talk about holistic picture. Another word is that people often use is comprehensive. You can't have a siloed operation. You have to have this continuous flow. I mean, would that be an accurate characterization?
Absolutely. So it's really tearing down the silos, a comprehensive flow. And also when you look at how digital and real world coming together, that's what we think it's important, what I think it's important really, that you have the picture that you can do a lot in the digitalization world already, and that will help you then in the real world. So the digital and the real world, bringing it together, working together, and be more resilient then during that approach.
I'm glad you mentioned the digitalization there. Let's talk just for a moment, a little bit more specifically about the technology that one needs if you're going to have that flow that is comprehensive, as you just mentioned. What do you need? What kind of technology?
So you should think about a digital twin at the beginning. So digital twin of the product, digital twin of the production, digital twin of your logistics, logistics network, in order that you are ready to optimize all that. in a comprehensive, the most comprehensive way that you can think of. And certainly when you have all the data and the structured data in a good quality, and that's the important piece, you can think about AI. AI on its own won't solve your problem, but it can help you. But you need to be prepared. And it's not only about the technology, it's also about your people. Don't forget getting your teams behind that thought. You can use different tools, and it's a lot of a hype at the moment around AI, but it will change how we think about topics also in the supply chain, and it will help us being more efficient and being more resilient. But it's not like a magic moment. It's a lot of hard work, getting your data right, getting the right people in, having domain know-how. That's also important. So you can't just run AI. You need to know what you're doing and what the domain is. And then AI also can help, but start with a digital twin and then think about the optimization and then AI.
I'm glad you brought up artificial intelligence, because it is clearly top of mind for just about everybody in the entire supply chain world. The question is, how many of our assumptions about artificial intelligence are grounded in a reality, or are they wildly unrealistic? For instance, is it going to help companies drastically reduce headcount? Just one of the things that people are exploring when they talk about, well, let's implement AI, it's going to do this, that, or the other for us. So how realistic is our view to the implementation of AI these days? What do you say?
So first of all, AI is not really new. It has a bit of a history.
True.
So neural networks and machine learning and all that things that happened before are more or less in the context of AI. So with ChatGPT, really that was the big door opener for a lot of discussions that we see today. We need to consider that this is almost a year ago that happened. So it's not really something that we have experienced. And I'm sorry, but I don't seeing it that this is something that we reduce our workforce. It should enable us to do much better decisions, much more decisions that you can rely on instead of using AI to firing people. That's not where my mind is. That's not what I would like to see, and that's also not how when I speak to partners, customers, drive AI. I see it as a tool, as a good chance for us to really do better things, more and better decisions that are based on a lot of data. And that's where AI can help. But from my perspective, we shouldn't think about that as a measurement to reduce our workforce.
But you clearly believe it has a role to play in a company's success. And that strikes me as a very important observation. Let me turn to Siemens Digital Logistics itself for just a moment, because somebody viewing the video today is not entirely familiar with the company. So talk to us for a moment about the focus of the company and how it might enhance the operations of somebody who's watching you speak today. What do you say?
So Siemens Digital Logistics is part of the wider Siemens universe, so to speak. We are in the software world of Siemens, where we have a really comprehensive portfolio from PLM, so with our Teamcenter brand, with our NX brand, with our manufacturing operations softwares. And then we have added, and we believe in that we can do more for our clients and our customers and our partners, really bringing the things together. And that's why we have added the logistics piece and the supply chain piece to it. When we think about Siemens Digital Logistics, there are things in the optimization piece, so how you optimize your network with our software, how you do the execution like in a transport management system, but also what I said before, really integrating it, not only in the inbound, in the outbound, but also in the shop floor area. So with our IPL portfolio, also there, we're looking at it as a completely, you said comprehensive. That's what we are believing in, that you need to look at it in a comprehensive way. And that's where Siemens Digital Logistics can play an important role and can help all our customers really adding value to the different solutions that you may have in mind.
Völker, it's been a great conversation about the importance of artificial intelligence in the supply chain world, but also about the importance of building in resilience into one supply chain, given the ongoing disruptions that one can expect. Völker, I appreciate very much your meeting with us today. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure.
It's Völker Albrecht with Siemens Digital Logistics and speaking with us today about supply chains in a world of disruption. Thanks for watching.